Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has issued a veiled warning to Iran, saying that his country will defend itself against anyone that tries to harm it. His comments come amid rising tensions between Israel and Iran over an alleged Israeli airstrike targeting a Syrian Air Force base last week that left at least 4 Iranian military personnel dead. Iran has threatened to retaliate. Well, we're joined from Jerusalem now by Seth Frantzman, opinion editor with the Jerusalem Post and executive director of the Middle East Centre for Reporting and Analysis. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
And it's good to have you on the programme. How close do you believe are Israel and Iran to an open conflict?
I don't think they're close to an open conflict, but I think that Israel and Iran have been involved already in a kind of shadow conflict that's been going on for a very long time, and I think in the last few years has certainly ratcheted up. So we're at a very high peak of tensions at the moment in terms of that other kind of conflict.
And why are the tensions so particularly high at this point?
Well, I think, first of all, Iran has been a kind of victor in the emerging Syrian civil war that's gone on for 7 years. And according to Israeli sources, and I think other sources, it has been building bases in Syria. And some of those bases are directed against Israel. For instance, in February, there was an Iranian drone that tried to penetrate Israeli airspace. And Iran is also transferring weapons and missiles to Hezbollah, which Israel has fought a war with in 2006 and prior to that. So in all those cases, Israel has tried to take actions to protect its national security, and those, according to the former Israeli air defense or Air Force chief, involved something like 100 airstrikes in the last 5 years, which is kind of a significant number.
Is that likely to be an understatement?
Maybe. I mean, I think we don't know the full details of everything that goes on. A lot of the airstrikes, I think, are kind of pinpoint. But definitely the fact that the Iranian media showed these several guys that were killed last week is an indication that the Iranian media, which is a state-controlled media basically, wants to put out there to its own people that Iranians are being killed by Israelis in Syria. Whereas prior to that, the Iranian regime didn't want to admit that. So I think what we're seeing is that's kind of a sort of message to Israel that's being brought not only from Tehran, but also we've seen a lot of comments in recent days by Hezbollah in Lebanon threatening that Iran will retaliate against Israel. And obviously Hezbollah is a kind of proxy or a very close ally of Iran.
Yes. So the implications of using perhaps Syria as a proxy, and as you say, Iran using Hezbollah in Lebanon. What about Russia in this? Is Russia a restrainer in that it is friends with both?
What's interesting about the Russian relationship is that in 2015, when Russia started intervening in a much larger way in Syria, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, immediately rushed off to Moscow to meet with Putin. And according to what we see, Putin and Netanyahu basically have a quite good relationship. It's not the traditional alliance of Israel and America, but it's a very close, good working relationship. So the problem is obviously that Russia is on the side of the Syrian regime and therefore closer to Iran. So there is somewhere, in terms of Israel's actions in Syria, there is somewhere a red line in which the Russians would say no. And when Israel, I think, struck Syria in February after the drone incident, we understand that Russia and Israel had a conversation that ended those airstrikes. So I think that I think Israel has to be very careful in terms of the Russian scenario.
You said you don't believe they're close to an open conflict, but tensions are very high. What's going to end these tensions?
It's not really clear, because the thing about Iran is that it's on a kind of upswing in the region. It's probably the most powerful it's been in terms of its influence in all of the Middle East in the last 30 years or so. So Iran has a deep influence in Baghdad, also in Damascus, also in Beirut, also in Yemen. And it's not clear, unless the Iranian regime would moderate itself, that somehow Israel and Iran could come to some, not a détente, but maybe that there could be a lowering of tensions. So I think that the ball is kind of in the Iranian court, because in Israel's perspective, Israel's just defending itself. It doesn't want to attack Iran. But the kind of comments that come out of Iran or come out of Tehran against Israel or wishing destruction on Israel are things that obviously Jerusalem, I think, cannot really tolerate, especially when it's on the doorstep in Syria.
Well, thank you very much indeed for joining us on Morning Ireland today. That's Seth Frantzman. He is opinion editor with the Jerusalem Post. He's also the executive director of the Middle East Centre for Reporting and Analysis.
The prison